sound. That's not good.
You have to cut that bird's mouth so that it planes out with the rest of the rafters on the top.
Test. Mic check.
We try to take the wood out of the wall and put in insulation.
I guess we're going through the sound.
That changes depending on how you apply the stress in relation to the grain direction.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're live. First thing I got to know is if this headset is working. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me, and if you heard the intro music. I got to know if that's just, for whatever reason, it's not coming out of my ear bones. Oh, okay. Awesome. Well, my sound's good. Put a 1. What? Green Observer, what are you doing? I said put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me. What does 5x5 mean? I'm confused now. All right. I guess that means now I got a 1 in the chat and I got a 5x5 in the chat. Oh my goodness. Green Observer, would you mind? LOL, I'll explain. Okay, he's going to explain. Well, while he's explaining, yeah, welcome to the Bungalows for Bachelors Late Night Learning, guys. Tonight we're going to be talking about a topic that was recommended to me from a dear friend, somebody who wanted to know how electricity and magnetism comes into play in residential construction. And basically, there's not a lot that really comes into play in residential construction. And so we're going to touch on the topics that do, though. Before we get into that, though, if you were able to hear the introduction, I couldn't, but if you were able to hear it, that music comes from the Green Observer himself. He is a masterful producer of music, and if you want to get music, you should hit him up. He's got a link in the description below. If, for whatever reason, you like what we're doing here and you want to watch more, then you can check out the YouTube channel. Obviously, you're already on it. And that's Bungalows for Bachelors. And join our community, t.me/BFB Success, to see all of the stuff that we've got going on and all of the wonderful things that can come your way. Also, quick chat shout out here. We got Jenna Nelson in the chat. Hello, Jenna. Thank you for joining us today. And we got Mr. Green Observer. Appreciate you guys showing up. And now Green Observer is posting links. Signal strength and readability report. Oh boy. I can't actually open that from the moderating view unless I'm... What's going on here? Oh yeah, my sound is working. That was weird. But I can click it from this view. Let's see. 5x5. This is a lot to read. Morse code, yada, yada, yada. It probably means 1 or something. Very good. Excellent. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Green Observer, for that little brief education on the subject. So, before we get into the technical information today, we are actually going to do a fun little exercise that I like to call the benevolent blade. So, we're just starting to do this, right? So, we're going to figure out how we're going to do it together. Basically, what I need you guys to do is type hashtag like word of the day of the word of the day that came from my Telegram channel, right? So, if you're not on my Telegram channel, you got to go join that to figure out what the word of the day is. But go check it out and put in the chat right here, hashtag whatever my word of the day was. And you are going to be added to this benevolent blade spinner thing that I'm going to show you in just a second once I have the names added. So basically, if you want a chance to win $400 every 3 months, then you ought to be typing your name in because hashtag fiasco. Thank you, Green Observer. God damn. Normally we would just type the hashtag and then put the word, but like, hey, it's see, oh, thank you, Jenna Nelson here. So we got the Green Observer showing us how to do a hashtag fiasco, and Jenna Nelson showing us the correct way to do the hashtag fiasco. Although they are both correct based on my instructions were lacking, and so I'm going to take ownership for that. Yeah, type the symbol hashtag followed by the word fiasco. That's how I know it's legitimate. Otherwise, I don't know if it's legitimate or not. So we got the Green Observer. I'm going to add you, sir, to this list. And we've got Jenna Nelson. All right. So right now I got you two on the wheel, the benevolent blade. So one of you two is going to be having a chance to win $400. So basically, I'm going to spin this blade, and whatever it lands on, you guys are going to get like a little lottery ticket. So that's one entry, and I'm going to keep track on my computer who's got what. So at the end of the 3 months, we're going to do one more spin with a whole bunch of names on it, and that's when you're going to know if you get your thing. Looks like there's 5 people watching. So if you guys want to participate in the Benevolent Blade, chance to win $400, then put hashtag, well, it's already here. So put hashtag fiasco in the chat. I'll give a few more minutes before I spin it. If I see your name come up here in the chat, then I will go ahead and add your name to the spin. And if not, then you don't get to participate. And that's okay. You can watch these guys win. And then you'll be more motivated next time. And, well, we got Centurion 54X. Hey, my dude, thank you for joining us. If you want a chance to win $400, type hashtag fiasco in the chat, and then you can participate with us. We're doing a little spin thing. And yeah, if you did not hear what I was saying before, basically I'm going to, every 3 months, I'm going to draw out of all these names of people that are collecting, and we'll see who wins. So if you'd like to participate, then type hashtag fiasco. And because I just saw you pop in here, I will give you a second to see if you want to do it. And if you don't do it, I'm just going to go ahead and spin the wheel. But thank you for showing up nonetheless. Good to have you in the chat, my dude. Okie dokie. So while I give it a few more minutes here, I want you all to think about the idea of magnets and electricity. And I want you to try to come up with ideas on like where in your home do you think magnets and electricity come together in order to make things functional for yourselves. And then when I get to going over it, we'll see if you were correct. But it's been a few minutes, and Centurion 54X has not put the word in. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to show you guys this benevolent blade here. And we are going to give it a spin. We've got 2 entries. We've got Jenna Nelson and the Green Observer. This is going to be a 1v1 fight between these two. I am excited to see who is going to win. This is going to be a bloody battle, I have to say. And the blade's already bloody enough, so we shall see here. So let me get this set up, and we will go right into it here. Let's see, that's ready. All right. Are you ready? Because it's coming your way. Let's get it going here. Make sure I share the screen before I do any of this. Otherwise, that would be unfortunate. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Oh, that was good timing. Okay. Centurion 54 has decided to join us in the battle. That was close. I almost launched it here. We got Centurion 54X. Yeah, the basic idea here is, you're going to get this the $400 value is going to be given out in some kind of like big box store gift card of some kind, like a Home Depot or a Lowe's or a McCoy's or something. So whether you want to go like buy sod for your garden and like maybe farm some corn or something, like it doesn't matter what it is, you can get whatever. But yeah, you're going to go buy a hoe and get to work. But yeah, the idea is for you to choose. So I've got 3 names now on the benevolent blade. Before I show you guys, final call. I'm not seeing any chats, so I'm going to work my way towards sharing the screen again now that the blade is ready. All right, what's it going to be? The better I get at this, the better I'm going to be able to like play music while we're doing this. But I don't have a soundboard quite yet. So here we go. Let's see. We're going to do that and then that. And I'm going to invite. I'm going to present the screen. All righty. So what you see in front of you is the benevolent blade. This blade has 3 names. 1 of you will win. 2 of you will lose. The Green Observer says If I win, I'll buy $400 worth of 8-penny nails. Sir, I hope that you win because that's a golden thing. Are you going to practice in like hammering $400 worth of 8-penny nails? That'd be an impressive amount. All right, so we got the wheel up here. We're going to go right into it. Here we go. What's it going to be? It looks, oh, it's going to be so close. It's going to split the difference. Oh, it's still taking a while to stop. And it's the Green Observer. You, sir, have won a ticket to your $400 entry. Thank you guys for playing the Benevolent Blade. I hope you are happy. And if you didn't win, then I hope you're more motivated to come on next time. I'm going to be doing this every single day. He is, the Green Observer. He is excited. He is one step closer to getting 8-penny nails. Here's the other thing, guys. If I do this for 3 months and no one shows up for any more of these spins, he is guaranteed $400. So now he's incentivized to like find you guys and, you know, give you the old whacker chop so that you don't get in his way of buying nails. All right, we'll go ahead and remove that and then get back to real business here. So Green Observer, I am adding your entry right now, and you will not be missed. I'm going to use your handle of Green Observer because I have no idea who you really are. Observer. You, sir, have one ticket entry. Okay. Man, that was exciting. Okay. So, on the topic of today, we've got this whole like, you know, magnets and electricity thing. So basically, permanent magnets are made from materials like usually iron-based materials. You can magnetize other materials, but most of the time it's iron, right? And it's done that way because like the free electrons and the man, I'm gonna mess up the words here because it's been a while since I've done material science. But basically, you can apply an electromagnetic field to iron, and it will basically remember that magnetic field, and it will hold it until it like basically wears out and fades away, which takes a very, very, very long time. But basically, everybody knows what a permanent magnet is, right? We use them to stick things to our fridge. We use them to like put in our fake nose rings. We use them to like handcuff our sheep together. They could do all kinds of things. But what you might not have known is that some of the principles of these permanent magnets make electromagnets like very cool to use. And we can do all kinds of stuff when we can combine permanent magnets with electromagnets. All right. So first of all, before I talk about what an electromagnet is, we got to understand something. When you have an atom, your atom is going to have protons and neutrons in its nucleus, and it's going to have electrons floating around in the electron clouds on multiple levels, doing its stuff, flying around doing whatever it is that electrons do. What you ought to know is that when an electron moves in a given direction, just the electron moving generates magnetic field acting in like one angle 90 degrees off of the direction of the electron. It's kind of weird stuff, but basically when electrons go places, it generates magnetic field. So when you have a wire between, you know, point A, point B, and there's like a polarity difference, 12 volts or whatever it may be, and electricity is going to flow, as soon as the current is flowing through that like wire, there's actually an electric field going around the wire. And the way we take advantage of that and create cool stuff like motors is if we take that wire and instead of being point to point, if we make a loop out of that wire, then now the electric field is going around the wire, and it's basically all of the current is going through like the donut you just made with the wire. And when you do that enough with a lot of wires and a lot of electricity, you can generate a very powerful magnetic field, especially when you put stuff that concentrates the magnetic field. Like if you put an iron rod in the center of that thing, it magnifies the effect. Okay, so we can use electricity to create magnetic fields, and then we can actually move permanent magnets with those magnetic fields, right? Because the magnetic fields interact with each other. If you ever held a North Pole and a North Pole together and tried to push them together, you notice that it's really hard to push together. They're not touching, but you can affect each other, right? South Pole, North Pole, they will stick together, right? So that's their magnetic fields interacting. So basically, if we take a whole bunch of these coils and combine them in a special way and using special kinds of current, three-phase, whatever it is, we can make motors, right? So we can take this electrical energy and we can convert it into physical motion. And what that's going to basically do is it's going to be able to spin a shaft, which can do something, right? So what are some of the things in a house that require these motors? Well, your dryer is probably one of the first things that might come to mind. Your dryer and your washing machine, both of them, they're a spinning drum, right? So we're going to take the electrical energy that comes out of the wall, we're going to run it into a motor, and that motor is going to have some kind of gear or pulley or belt or something, and it's going to spin a big drum, right, as that motor spins. So that's some cool stuff that we can do with motors and electromagnets. Of course, we've got like the dryer, the washing machine, like a sink disposal. That's a little motor, right? And then, of course, one of the highest demanding parts in a house is the HVAC system. Spinning up the fans that move all the air in your house takes a lot of power. And that is one of the places where you're going to find some of the biggest draws of electricity. Now, one of the things that's a little complicated. Now, we learned about wires. We learned wires have electromagnetic fields that go around them. And basically, it's the strength of that electric field from the magnetic field is a function of how much current is flowing through that wire. So when you do stuff like take a regular house wire that's like in your wall, or maybe a house wire that's going to run your dryer or whatever, and your dryer is running, there's actively a whole bunch of electricity flowing through that wire. Now it's alternating current, so it's actually flowing back and forth really fast. But you need to imagine it like it's creating a magnetic field around that wire. So one of the things that we have to watch out for when wiring a house is we have to watch out for the placement of those. Now, if you're just going to put a bunch of power wires in your walls, that's fine. You're not going to have any problems. But if you are going to have data cable, like network cable, Cat6 cable, the Cat6 cable is going to have 8 solid copper wires in it that are designed to carry data. They're designed to carry signal, and the natural like tendency for data to be messed up in a wire, if it's like bent or if it's got something messing with it, like you can ruin the ability for a cable to transfer data simply by physically affecting it, right? So because we want to very carefully control the electrons that are dancing around in the data cables, we don't want to put data cables in a wall too close to power cables. Because like I said, the power cables, when electricity is flowing, it's going to generate a magnetic field. And just like electricity can generate a magnetic field can generate electricity. They work in opposites. So if I put one wire next to another wire and one's running current and the other one's not, then actually the one running current can induce current into the other wire. And so we don't want to use data cable next to power cable because the power cable will induce currents and mess up the signal in the data cable. So if you're building a house and you're going to run these next to each other, if they're parallel, you want to keep them at least a foot apart. That way the fields are, they're relatively small physically. So keep them 12 inches apart if they're parallel. And if you got to pass them by like 90 degrees or whatever, then, try to keep them 1 inch away. So that said, that's pretty much everything I could think about for how magnetism and electricity is affected in residential construction. If you think of cooler and better ways, then I want to hear about it in the chat. And I want to see like what kind of things you guys think of. So we got Centurion 54X in here. Isn't that how a magneto works, like for tractors and airplane engines? I'm not sure what term magneto is referring to, but yes, there are. I think you're referring to like what's the word, alternator of a. It's magneto is frequently used for the word alternator. But yes, that is like the magneto is the part, if you're talking about the part where the engine spins a shaft and the shaft rotates permanent magnets past coils, yes, that is generating electricity for the battery and for the whole system of the car, whether it's an airplane or a tractor or whatever. That is what a magneto would do. So hopefully that is what you were asking about. And yeah, And then we've got Green Observer in here. Any thoughts on lightning mitigation? Oh, at first I thought you were just being a turd and like giving me complex questions, but no, this is a fair question. So, lightning mitigation in a house is pretty much built. It's built into your electrical system. So, all of the wires and everything that's like powering your house is all grounded. Um, and if lightning were to strike something in your house and get like the current were to get its way into your electrical system in your house, then it's going to want to return to the ground. And like, yeah, it's probably going to fry some stuff because your house wiring is not designed to hold the like capacity that a lightning bolt will provide. So stuff's going to get fried. But yeah, that's how that's effectively how we mitigate like crazy things happening. Is we have the whole electrical system is grounded, and it's very well tied into both the earth and the power grid that we get all of our power from. So I would not say that there are any extra lightning mitigation steps beyond that, because most people probably aren't willing to spend the money that it would take to like shoot a bunch of like metal things off of their roof in order to catch things and like ground them all through your house. I mean, maybe if you're really concerned with lightning, that's something you would do, but otherwise, probably not a big deal. But looks like I did answer Centurion 54's question. Good to hear, my dude. Awesome. Green Observer says that would suck to have to rip out all of your wiring from your walls. Yes, I would imagine that if lightning strikes your house and that happens, that you're probably like running that much power through those wires is likely going to produce some heat, right? And stuff's probably going to catch on fire, and you're probably going to have other problems to deal with your house than just like your wiring being bad. But yeah, that would suck. Natural disasters happening to houses does suck, and we can avoid most of them with design of safety and all this, that, and the other. But yeah, lightning is probably not something that we take care of very often when we design our houses. So that's what I got, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Again, if you want a chance to win $400 every 3 months, check out my channel every day. I'm going to be launching it at I might have a weird schedule for the next few days, but I'm going to try to keep it fairly consistent. I will be posting stuff on my Telegram. If you want to keep updated with what I'm doing, join the Telegram, t.me/BFB success, and that's where you'll be able to stay updated with all this fun stuff that I got going on. But yeah, every day we're going to spin this wheel. We're going to spin this benevolent blade, and we'll get you guys more chances to win this $400 so you can buy some fantastic tools and go build stuff or farm corn or whatever it is that you guys want to do. That said, that's all I got. I appreciate you guys spending your valuable time here learning here with me. This is just a fun time, and I appreciate everything you guys do. So I will see you next week on the next one, and hopefully maybe I'll see you every day when we spin that benevolent blade.